Now I welcome you to a short field tour showing you mostly landraces of spring wheat, Triticum aestivum, from the Nordic countries. The first row is actually not a landrace but a modern cultivar called Vignette, a Swedish spring wheat cultivar released in 1989. For comparison with the old landraces, I planted this row close to the others and repeated it sometimes in between. The next one is a Danish landrace called Østby. We don't have more landraces from Denmark in the collection of the Nordic Genetic Resource Center, but in Finland it was possible in the 1980s to still collect traditional landraces of spring wheat. So here you see one of those, and we have several landraces from Finland. Here you see them, the next one all Finnish, the next two look similar, and then you have one aunt type of spring wheat landrace also from Finland. The next one is also aunt and another aunt one, but also again the awnless type. And another landrace, and here in comparison the modern cultivar. You see instantly that the older landraces tend to lodge, mature a little bit earlier, and the heads are not as compact as in the modern cultivar. The grain yield is lower in the landraces than the modern cultivar, but the modern cultivar needs also more nutrition from the soil, which is supplied today usually by artificial fertilizers. In particular, nitrogen is important for the modern cultivar to realize its yield potential. And the next four plots are again landraces from Finland, and then three wheat landraces from Norway. And here it starts now with landraces from Sweden. The first one called Dala, the next one Dalarna, one without awns, the other with awns, and right beside with a small white label, that is the modern cultivar Vignette. In comparison to the landraces, again you see it is shorter and has more compact heads, stands upright, while the landraces tend to lodge. And the next rows, again Swedish landraces, Halland, and another Landwete från Dalarna, Landwete från Halland, and a landrace called Västergötland, and the last row, again the modern cultivar of spring wheat called Vignette, released in 1998. All this material is planted for characterization by the Nordic Genetic Resource Center, and what is typical for landraces, sometimes they can be mixtures, and in particular in this plot here, the Landwete från Dalarna, I isolated several different types of ears in one row, and will take a closer look at those. Landraces are not as homogeneous as modern cultivars like this one, the Swedish cultivar released in 1989. This material is hardly cultivated in agriculture today, but is preserved by gene banks for future use.